So, hello students, hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss the topic functions in Java. Functions are also called methods. So, methods in Java. Okay. In this video, I will discuss the basic concepts of function. So, without wasting your and my time, here we go with this new topic, functions in Java. Okay. Here we go. So on the screen, you can see the definition of function or method I have written. A function is a subprogram which performs a particular task in the main program. A function is a subprogram that performs a particular task in the main program. Okay. So this definition I will explain, I will make it clear with one example. Okay. So let's start. Students, so many programs you have written before this. Okay, and I hope if you have not used function, so many programs you have written before this without using function. Okay, so each and every program which you have written without using function can be written by function also. Means each and every program, मतलब तुमने जितने प्रोग्राम अभी तक लिखे हैं बिना फंक्शन यूज किए, वो सभी प्रोग्राम, all that programs can be written using function. Okay, so one most basic program, write a program to accept two numbers and find their sum. That most basic program I am going to explain using function. Here I will explain, and here I will use function to write that program. जो सबसे पहला प्रोग्राम, जो सिंपलेस्ट प्रोग्राम था कि 2 नंबर इनपुट लो, उसका सम निकालो, ये जो प्रोग्राम तुम लोगों ने किया होगा, उस प्रोग्राम को मैं फंक्शन के थ्रू यहाँ बताने जा रहा हूँ. ठीक है, तो through this example of program, I will explain the basic concept of function and working of the function also, how functions work. Okay, so let's see. So here is the question. I will come back to the definition also, don't worry. So you write a program to accept two numbers and define the function, define a function to calculate and return their sum. Okay. So let's see. You can see this class name is, what is the class name? Class name is sum. This class has two functions. This time we have defined two functions in one class. The first function name is add. This is one of the function, and another function is main. As you know, main is also a function. Okay, the presence of main function is compulsory in the program. It must be there. Okay, so this time this class has two functions, add and main function. Okay, and you can see main function we have written at last of the program, at the end of the program. First we have written, we have defined which function? Add function. Then we have defined main function. But remember, keep in mind that wherever you have written the main function, if you have written the main function at the beginning of the program, or if you have written the main function at the end of the program, doesn't matter. The programming will start, the program execution will start from the main function always. The execution of the program starts from the main function always. Remember this point. तुमने प्रोग्राम में मेन फंक्शन कहीं भी लिखा हो, एग्जीक्यूशन मेन फंक्शन से ही स्टार्ट होता है. ये पॉइंट दिमाग में रखना सब लोग. ठीक है, चाहे हम प्रोग्राम के सबसे स्टार्टिंग में लिखें, चाहे सबसे लास्ट में लिखें, कहीं भी लिखें, स्टार्टिंग execution of the program starts from the main function. It doesn't matter where you have written the main function. So we will also start from the main function. We are also going to start from the main function. See. So I'm starting from the main function. We are creating the object of scanner class for taking input. A proper message, two numbers input lena hai. So enter two numbers, a proper message we are displayed. So you'll have the message, when you run this program, you'll have the message enter two numbers. First of all, you will have this message if you will execute this program. Then from the keyboard, you will enter a number 5 or any number, type and press enter key. That will be stored into a variable a. The value of a will be what? The value of a will be 5 if you are entering 5. Then you will enter second number, type and press enter key. That will go to b. So consider we are entering 2. We have entered 2. So the value of b will be what? 2. So we have entered two numbers. We have inputted two numbers into variable a and b respectively. दो नंबर हमने input कर लिया a और b में. ठीक है, I think you know this process. Coming to the next line, see, in this line, we are creating the object of class sum. You can see the class name is what? Sum here. Remember this. The class name is what? Sum. So in this line, we are creating the object of class sum. Okay. So how to create the sum object of any class? Class name, then object name, whatever you want, then again new, then again class name and this bracket. This is the way to create the object of any class. Okay. So here we are creating the object of class sum, class name, object name, any name you can take. You have to follow the identifier naming rules. Okay. Then new, again class name, then this bracket. So what are we doing in this line? We are creating the object of the class sum. So the question arises here, why do we create the object of any class? किसी class का object हम क्यों create करते हैं? So we create the object of any class to use the members of that class. सिंपल सी बात है, किसी क्लास के मेंबर्स को यूज करना हो, मतलब किसी क्लास के वेरिएबल को या किसी क्लास के फंक्शन को यूज करना हो, इन शॉर्ट किसी क्लास के मेंबर्स को यूज करना हो, तो हमें उस क्लास का क्या करना पड़ता है? ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करना पड़ता है. So why do we create the object of any class? We create the object of any class to use the members of that class. To use the members of that class. So here we are creating, you can see, I'm explaining it more. You can see in this line, we are creating the object of scanner class. The name of the object is what? SC. Why have we created this object? See, SC, by this object, we are using the function next int, next int. Next int is a function, is a method of which class? Scanner class. Means next int is a member of scanner class. So to use this member of scanner class, we have created the object of scanner class. And by this object SC, we are using this member of scanner class. Next int is the member of which class? Scanner class. So to use this, we have created the object of this class SC, and by this object, we are using the members of scanner class. So remember, the question was, why do we create the object of any class? So the answer is to use the member of that class. I hope it is clear. Okay. So in this line, we have created the object of this class. What is the object name? I have taken OB. This class name is what? Sum. We have created the object of sum class. Object name is what? OB we have taken. You can see by this object, we are calling the function add. This function we are calling by this object. This add function is a member of which class? Sum class. This add function is a member of which class? Sum class. To call this function, to use this function of sum class, here in this line, we have created the object of sum class. I hope I have explained thoroughly. I think it is clear why this object is created. Okay. So by this object, you can see we are calling the function, we are using the function add. We are calling this function add and passing the value of A and B. Just take care, mind my words. I'm not saying A and B. Here we are calling the function by this object add. We are calling this add function and passing the value of A and B. I'm not saying I'm passing A and B. I'm saying the value of A and B. Okay. So in this line, listen. In this line, sorry. Just a minute. Okay, sorry. In this line, we are calling the function. In this line, we are calling the function. And how to call a function, just learn it. Object dot function name, the same name what you have defined. Function name, add. And see, you can see this function is requiring two parameters. This function requires, these are called parameters. So this function is acquiring two parameters, A and B, which is of int type. Means this function is requiring two parameters of integer type. Okay. So that's why while we are calling the function, जब हम function call कर रहे हैं, we are passing two parameters. Okay. A and B, you can see the variable A and B are of which type? Int type. So what are we passing? We are passing the value of A and the value of B, which are of int type. Okay. So here we are calling the function object name dot function name and the number and types of parameters. The number and types of parameters required by the function. How many parameters this function is requiring? 2 parameters. Of which type? Int type. So what will happen? So while we are calling the function, we are passing 2 and which type of value? Integer type of value. Int type of value we are passing. Okay. So I hope the things are clear. How to call a function? You got it? How to call a function? Object name dot function name and the parameter what is required by the function we pass to the function. Okay. See. So this function requiring how many? Just a minute. Sorry for disturbance. So in this line, we are calling the function. Simply, we are calling the function. So what will happen? See, this function we are calling. So the value of a, just mind my words, what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying a. Again, I'm saying the value of a will go to this a. The value of b will go to this b. Okay, sorry for this zigzag line. When we call a function, the control will jump from here to here, and the value of this a will go to this a, and the value of this b will go to this b. We are not passing a and b, we are passing the value of a and b. नाम से कोई मतलब है, मत ध्यान देना. यहाँ पे a और b है, इसका कोई मतलब नहीं. Both are different. This a and b, wait a minute. This a and this b and this a and this b are different. नेम से कोई मतलब नहीं, हम यहाँ पे वैल्यू ट्रांजेक्शन कर रहे हैं. We are passing the value only. नेम से कोई मतलब. So the value of this a will go to this a, and the value of this a will go to this b. Okay. So the value of this a was, what was the value of this a? It was 5 we have taken initially, and b we have taken 2. So the value of this a will go to this a, and the value of this b will go to this b. So here also the value of a will be 5, and the value of b will be 2. They are different. This a, b, and this a and b are different. Just keep in mind. Name से कोई मतलब नहीं होता. Whether their names are same, they are different. You can take different name also. Here, if you want to take x and y, then x and y can also be taken as here x z equal to x plus y can also be taken. Names you can take different, you can take same. Whether you are taking same name or taking different name, they are different. Just take care of this. What I said, here instead of taking variable a and b, you can take any other name also. It is not compulsory कि here a and b, so here also a and b. Nothing is like that. यहाँ पे a और b होगा तो यहाँ पे भी a और b ही होगा, ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है. सेम नेम भी ले सकते हो, डिफरेंट नेम भी ले सकते हो, दोनों डिफरेंट हैं. इवन देयर नेम्स आर सेम, दे आर डिफरेंट. ओके. सो इस कंफ्यूजन होती है, इसलिए बार बार रिपीट कर रहा हूँ. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Here, the value of a is what? 5, b is what? 2. Control will go inside the function. And here a plus b. This function we have defined to add two numbers. We have this function we have defined to add and return the sum of two numbers. Okay. So that two numbers we have passed to the function. What we have passed? We have passed 5 and 2 to the function into variable a and b. What this function will do, it will add them. So c equal to 5 plus 2 will be what? 7 will be stored into c. The value of c will be what? 7. And then, so calculate and return. It is written in the question. You can see it is written in the question. Calculate and return. Define a function. Define a function to calculate and return their sum. So calculated, we have calculated the sum. We have calculated the sum and stored into c, variable c. The value of c is what now? 7. Okay. Now return. So we are returning. Return c. So when a function returns a value, to return a value from a function, we use this return keyword. It's a jump statement. We use return keyword, and what this return keyword will do, it will return the value of c. Again, I'm telling, it's not returning c, it is returning value of c. What is the value of c? 7. So it will return the value of c. What is that? 7. So when a function returns a value, control goes back to there from where it is called. जो function कोई value return करता है, तो कंट्रोल वापस वहीं जाता है जहां से कॉल हुआ है, तो यहाँ से कंट्रोल वापस वहीं आ जाएगा जहां से कॉल हुआ था, वापस यहीं आएगा. And what are we getting back from the function? We are getting back the value of c. We are getting back the value of c. So the value of c will come back to here and will be stored into this s. Here also you can take any variable name. C जरूर नहीं कि यहाँ पे c ही लें, यहाँ पे कोई variable नहीं ले सकते, c भी ले सकते हैं. Okay. So 7 will come back to here, will be stored into s, and this names is not compulsory to be same. Since we are returning c, it should also be c. Nothing is like that. Only the type should be same. Int should be same. C is of which type? Int type. So since we are returning a value and a value of integer type, that's why here we have declared a variable of int type. Okay. Only this it matters that type should be same. Which type of value are you getting back from the function? That type of this variable must be same. Okay. Others names may be same, may be different. Variable name may be same, may be different. Here I have taken S. We can take C also. We can take some other name also. It doesn't matter. So what are you getting back from there? We are getting back 7. That 7 will be stored into S. So the value of S will be 7. Okay. Now control will move forward. So you can see in this line, this part is function call. What is this part? This part is function call. And how to call a function I've explained. Now control will move further in the program, and the message system.print sum equal to s means you will have the output sum equal to 7. This is the output, complete output of the program. So we'll have such output on the screen. Okay. And then from the main, control will go outside the main function, then we'll go out the class. क्लास से बाहर चला जाएगा, प्रोग्राम बंद हो जाएगा. मीन्स स्टार्टिंग भी मेन से, प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूशन स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम मेन एंड एंड्स आल्सो विथ मेन. स्टार्टिंग और एंड दोनों मेन फंक्शन से ही होता है. So it was the working which I have explained. I hope the things are clear. And let me clear one doubt again. That this A and these A and B and these A and B are different. How it is? See, these A and B are the local variable of this function. They have a scope within this function only. They cannot be identified outside this function. They are local variable of add function. And these A and B are the local variable of main function. They have a scope within main function only. They are not identified. They will not be identified outside the main function. So even the names are same, they are different. This A and this B are the local variable of add function. This A and this B are the local variable of main function. So even the names are same, they are different. Okay. नेम सेम भी ले सकते हो, डिफरेंट भी ले सकते हो, चाहे नेम सेम लो चाहे डिफरेंट लो, दे आर डिफरेंट. ओके, आई होप द थिंग्स आर क्लियर. सो इट वाज अबाउट working of this program. Through that I've taught you how it is, what happens when we call a function and what happens when a function returns a value. Okay, that I've explained. Now coming back, coming to the function again, definition. Coming back to the definition. As I written in the definition, a function is a subprogram that performs a particular task in the main program. See, this function I have defined, and what particular task this function is performing. This function is performing addition between two integers, two numbers. So a function is a subprogram. Sub means, the part of the program. A function is a subprogram or part of the program that performs a particular task. Which particular task is this function performing? It is performing addition between two numbers. So a particular task in the main program. Means पूरे program में कोई particular task perform करता है a function. I hope definition is clear. A function is a subprogram that performs a particular task in the main program, in a program. Okay, so this is about function definition. As I told you, I will explain the function definition also. I think the definition is clear now. So coming to the next, see, now how to define a function. What you need when you are going to define any function, let me tell you, You need to think about three things. If you are going to define a function, if any function for any task to perform any particular task, you're supposed to think about three things. तीन चीजें बस सोचनी है, बाकी चीजें तुम लोग पढ़े हुए हो, जानते हो. So if you're going to define a function, you need to think about three things. The first thing, the name of the function, proper name of the function. Following the identifier naming rules, a proper name of the function. Proper names means as per the requirement of the function, you have to take a proper name. What that function going to perform, as per that, a proper name of the function. Okay, since in this function we are adding two numbers, so I have taken the function name as add. Add, sum, addition, adding two numbers. Any name you can take, just follow the identifier naming rules. Okay, a proper name means by reading the name of the function, user must know the purpose of that function. Okay, as per the function. Okay, as per the requirement of the function, a proper name. Second thing, how many and which type of parameters. Second thing, how many and which type of parameters are required. So how you can think about this? See, in this function we have defined, we have defined to add two numbers. So to add two numbers, what are required? What two things, what are required? If it is said you that perform to add two numbers, what will you require? अगर कहा जाए कि तुम दो नंबर ऐड करो दो नंबर, तो what will you require? You will require two numbers. So how many parameters will you require? Two parameters. Okay. So as per that, number of parameters you have to think. To perform that particular task, how many parameters are required? How many things are, what are required? So how many and which type of parameters required? I'm explaining with few more examples. Consider it is said to define a function. It is said to you that calculate simple interest. अगर तुमको बोला जाए कि simple interest calculate करो, what will you require? You will require how many parameters? How many things will you require? You will require principal, rate, and time. Means how many parameters? Three parameters. Three values you require. Which type? You can think double type. Okay. Consider it is said to you that calculate area of a circle. What will you require? Only radius. So how many parameters? One parameter. Of which type? Double type. Okay. If it is said to calculate the factorial of a number, if it is said to you that calculate the factorial of a number, what will you require? Only that number. One parameter. Of which type? Int type. Okay. So to perform that particular task, what particular task that function is going to perform, as per that, you have to think how many and which type of parameters are required. Okay. So I hope with examples I have made clear how to think how many and which type of parameters are required. Here, this function was to add two numbers. So how many parameters will be required? Two parameters and of int type. If you are going to define a function to find the sum of digits of a number, think about this. Sum of digits of a number. Just tell me in the comment how many parameters will be required and which type. Okay. So this is second thing you need to think about. First thing, proper name of the function. Second thing, how many and which type of parameters are required. And the third thing is this part, return type. Which type of value that function will return. Okay. So the third thing is what? Return type of the function. Okay. So you can see through this function, we are returning the value of C. The variable C is of its type, int types, means we are returning an int type of value from this function. So which type of value we are going to return from the function, that type we will write here. Okay, we write that type, which type of value we are going to return from the function here. So this part is what? Return type. What is this? Return type of the function. It is also called type of the function or return type of the function. Okay, which type of value we are going to return from the function, that type the type is written here. Okay, If you're going to return int type of value, you'll write int here. If you're going to return double type of value, then you'll write double here. And if you're going to return string type of value, you'll write string here. If you're going to return true or false, you will write boolean here. Okay, which type of value you are going to return? You have to write that type here. This part of the function is what? Return type. Okay. Then second thing, sometimes it happens we define such functions in which we do not return any value. ऐसे भी function हम define करेंगे, होता है ऐसे भी function define होते हैं जिसमें हम कोई value return नहीं करते हैं. तो अगर कोई value return अगर हम नहीं करते हैं तो if you are not returning any value from a function, in that case we write the return type of the function as void. इस पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट कि समटाइम्स इट विल बी रिक्वायर्ड टू डिफाइन अ फंक्शन इन विच वी विल नॉट रिटर्न अ वैल्यू. So in that case, the return type of the function is written void. Means if a function has void as a return type, it means that function will not return any value. That's why here before the main function we write void. Main is a function, if you know. Main is a function, and here we have written void because of this is the return type of the main function. Main function does not return any value. I hope you have you ever written return statement within main function? No, because main function does not return any value. That's why the return type of this main function is void. That's why we write void here. Public static void main name, void or main is the name of the function. Void is the return type of this function. This I have explained. We'll learn afterwards. Public static बाद में बताया जाएगा. Okay, so as I told, again I'm repeating, 3 things you need to think if you're going to define any function. First thing, name of the function, proper name of the function as per the requirement of the program. If you're going to calculate simple interest, you can take the function name as simple interest. If you're going to calculate area of a circle, so area or area underscore of underscore circle, proper name of the function. Okay. Second thing, how many and which type of parameters, which I have explained. To perform that particular task, how many parameters are required, how many things are required, how many and which type of parameters. Second thing, and the third thing, you need to think which type of value you are going to return from that function, that is return type. Generally ये 3 चीजें तुम्हें सोचनी होती हैं if you are going to define a function, and rest thing you know. This function we have defined for what? To find the sum of 2 numbers. So you know how to find the sum of 2 numbers. You know how to, if you are going to define a function to calculate simple interest, you know how to calculate simple interest. If you are going to define a function to find the sum of digits, you know how to find the sum of digits. That logical things I am not discussing here. I am discussing how to define a function. Okay. So within function, you will define the logic, you will write the logic, whatever that function is for what, that logic you will write within the function, and you can return the value from the function using return statement. Okay. So this is the thing, basic thing. Again, let me remind you, if you are going to define a function, you need to think about 3 things: name of the function, proper name of the function. Second thing, how many and which type of parameters are required. I have explained this example. You can go back and watch video again. And return type of the function. Okay, which type of value you are going to return from the function. This is about the function. If you are going to define a function, you need to think about these 3 things. Remember that. Okay. Okay, now look at here. Some points are here. So this first line, this complete line of the function is called function prototype. This is very important word. Remember this. It will come in the examination. So many times you need to write the prototype of a function. So this first line of the function is called prototype, function prototype. Okay. Generally, it contains name of the function, parameter list, and return type. Generally, it contains. Some more things will also be added as per the requirement. But generally, a prototype contains name of the function, parameters list, and return type. Name of the function, parameters list, and return type. This is called function prototype. This first line of the function is called function prototype. You may have the question in the examination to write a prototype of a function. So these 3 things will be given, and you need to write this only. पूरा function, if it is said in the question, if it is said to write the prototype only, so don't define the function, write only prototype. I will discuss this also afterwards. Okay. So this line, first line of the function is called function prototype. Okay. We keep in mind. Coming to the next. See this function. Now, in this line, okay, see, just a minute, wait a minute. One minute, just wait. Okay, look at here. Few words I'm going to explain, just listen carefully. See, in this line, we are calling the function, and these are the parameters. Parameters or arguments. They are also called parameters. They are also called arguments. So we are passing the parameters. While you are calling the function, and the value of these parameters will be received by these parameters. As I explained earlier. So both are, I'm telling, these are also parameters. While the parameters which are using during the function call are also parameters, and the parameters which we are using to receive the value of these parameters. Okay, so parameters here. Okay, so these parameters are called the parameters which we use. Listen carefully. The parameters which we use in function call statement. This is function call statement, and here A and B are what? Parameters. So these parameters are called actual parameters. This word will appear in front of you. So remember these words, technical words. Definition I have written below this. I will show you. These parameters are called actual parameters. Okay, the parameters which we use during the function call statement are called actual parameters. And the parameters which we define, which we declare, the variables the parameters which we define in the function definition, this is function definition, to receive the value of actual parameters. In actual parameters की value को receive करने के लिए जो parameter यहाँ पर define होते हैं, the parameters which are defined in function definition to receive the value of actual parameters are called, means here I am talking about A and B only. I am talking about A and B only. See, here A and B are what? Here A and B are called formal parameters. Okay, and here as I told, A and B, the parameters which we use during the function call statements are called actual parameters. Okay, so remember these words, it will appear in front of you again and again. So we are calling the function, passing the parameters which we pass during function call are called actual parameters, and the parameters which receive the value of actual parameters are called formal parameters. Here A and B are formal parameters, and both are different. These actual parameters are the local variable of main function. Here formal parameters are the local variable of add function. So even the names are same, they are different. You can take same name, you can take different name. Even names are same, they are different. दोनों अलग अलग होते हैं, अलग अलग ट्रीट किया जाता है. इस A और B का स्कोप बस add function के अंदर. This A and B, this A and this B will be identified within this function only. Means they have a scope within this function only. Scope is there. Do you know the word scope? This A and B have scope in this function only, and this A and this B have scope in this main function only. इस function के बाहर they will not be identified. ये बार-बार मैं I have explained so many times in this video itself. So please take it in. Don't remain confused. So I'm going to show you the definition. You can pause the video, and if you want to write the definition, you can write. Here some definitions I have written. Actual parameters. So the parameters which are used in function call statement are called actual parameters. I hope the definition is clear. Okay, the function यहाँ पे जो parameters use करते हैं, and in the function call statement which parameters are used are called actual parameters. Okay. Now formal parameters, the parameters which are defined in function definition to रिसीव द वैल्यू ऑफ एक्चुअल पैरामीटर्स। इन एक्चुअल पैरामीटर्स की वैल्यू को रिसीव करने के लिए जो फंक्शन कॉल में डेफिनेशन में फंक्शन में जो पैरामीटर डिफाइन किए गए दैट आर कॉल्ड फॉर्मल पैरामीटर्स। Okay, definition I think clear. I have already explained, so that I am showing the definition only. Now function prototype. The first line of the function is called function prototype that I have written. I am writing here again int. It was there int sum int a comma int b. This which I'm not going to scroll up. I'm showing here only int sum int a int b. Okay. So this line, what I told, this line is called function prototype. The first line of the function definition is called function prototype. Generally, it contains name of the function, parameters list, and this is the parameter list, and return type. Okay, so definition, I think definition is clear. These things I have already explained. I am showing through the definition. If you want to write this definition, you can pause the video and you can write this definition. Kindly learn it, keep in mind. Okay, now I'm going to show you some more programs. I will not explain this, I will show you simply. See this program I have defined. In this program, we are calculating the area, calculating and returning. See, calculating and returning the area of a circle through function. Okay, so listen, area of a function, area of a circle through a function. Okay, so we have defined a function to calculate and return the area of a circle. We have defined the, we are going to define a function to calculate and return the area of a circle. So 3 things I told to remember. First thing, proper name of the function. I have taken area. You can take area of circle, area underscore of circle, circle area, anything, proper name. Then second thing, parameters list. How many parameters will be required? What will you require to calculate the area of a circle? Only radius. Means how many parameters? One parameter. One parameter for the radius, and which type? Double type. Okay. And which type of value will be returned by this function? If you calculate the area of a circle, that will be of double type. Obviously double type 3.14 hai. So we are returning the value of double type. So here we have written return type. So 3 things: name of the function, parameters list, and return type. Okay, here we have returning the AR, which is of double type. So in function, we are calculating area and returning. Area will be stored into AR that we are returning. So that will go to the function call. Here from where we have called. Please remember, starting execution will start from main function. ये याद रखना, यहीं से start हुआ था, हमने डायरेक्ट वहाँ बताया पहले. तो ob.area से the value of r will be passed to this r. Area will be calculated and will be returned to this function call and will be stored into AR, and it will be printed with a message. Clear? Again, one more function I'm going to show you. No function. See, function to find and return their sum of digits. Function to find and return the sum of digits of a number. So see, again same thing, a proper name of the function. How many parameters to find the sum of digits of a number? What will you require? You will require a number only, means one parameter of int type. And the sum of digits will be of which type? Int type, so that we need to return. So return type of this function I have taken as int. So I think you know this code. In this loop, we are calculating the sum of digits. Okay, and then we are returning the sum. The sum of digits will be stored into variable sum that we are returning. Okay, so that will go to there from where it is called. यहाँ से call हुआ था, number यहाँ से pass. We have passed the number, whatever number we have passed, consider 135 we have passed. So what will get back from there? We'll get back the sum of digits of 135, that is 9, will be stored into S, and sum of digits equal to 9, you'll have the message. Okay, I hope the things are clear now, what I wanted to tell you. Okay. So for this video, this much only. If any confusion, any doubt, you can ask. I will come with more videos and I will explain some more concepts of the function with some more programming examples. Okay. So I hope the definition and the basic concept of the function, whatever I have explained in this video, was clear. Okay. Still, if you have any doubt, any confusion, what I have explained in this video regarding that, you can ask through the comment section. I will respond for each and everyone's question. So thank you for watching this video. Bye. Bye to all.